hope that you're all well. So I haven't done a baby names video in a while, and I was tagged in the brand new baby name tag by the lovely SJ Strum. If you don't follow her already, SJ is the absolute queen of baby names. So if you're pregnant or you want some inspiration on names, or you just quite like watching these videos like I do, then head over to her channel. She uploads a new baby name video every week. So they're really good videos. She doesn't just do baby names, she does weight loss videos. She's recently lost a lot of weight with the Cambridge diet plan, so she does a lot of videos about that. She's super fashionable. She's literally my style inspiration. She's just super lovely. She's a mum of 3. She's so relatable, and I find her voice really calming. I hope you will too. So head on over there after you've watched my video and check out her channel. So yes, SJ, the baby name queen, has come up with the new baby name tag. So I'm just going to jump straight into the video and get on with it. I'm also going to tag some lovely ladies at the end, so keep watching to see who I've tagged. But obviously this is an open tag, so if you are a YouTuber and you fancy doing this video, then make sure you let me know that you've done it so I can go over and watch it. So the first question is, if you had a baby tomorrow, what would you call them, boy and girl? So I found this really hard. I feel like that was like a lot of pressure to just suddenly have a baby sprung on me and to think of a name. So the boy's name that sprang to mind is Eddie, and I don't know why this came to mind because I've never really been a fan of the name Eddie before. Obviously Eddie is short for Edward, and I really don't like the name Edward, but I really love the name Eddie. I just think it's so cute. But yeah, that sprang to mind, so that is what I would call a boy if I had one right now. And the girl's name is my favourite name, and it is Harper, and I just think that it's such a nice name. It goes really well with our last name Houchin. So yeah, if we had a little girl tomorrow, she would be called Harper Houchin. I absolutely love the next question, and it is, what would you rename yourself using the same first initial? So obviously my name's Lucie, so my first initial is L, and I would rename myself Liesel. And I know that probably sounds like super weird to some people, but my absolute favourite film is The Sound of Music, and I love the character Liesel. And when I was younger, I just remember aspiring to be her. And I don't really like that many names beginning with L other than Lucy and Lily. And my niece is called Lily, so I'm going to stick with Liesel, and I just think it's really different and very different to Lucy, a little bit more out there. So the next question is kind of like 2 questions in one, and it is, what would you have been called if you were the opposite sex, or what would you have liked to be called if you were the opposite sex? So I was going to be called, wait for it, Philip if I was a boy, and I just cannot believe my mum was going to call me Philip. I mean, Phil, I don't look like a Phil, like, what the hell? That would have just been the worst name ever, so thank God I'm not Phil. Yeah, that would have sucked. Philip isn't too bad. Like, Philip's actually quite a cute name. It's quite like, I don't know, I feel like Philip's like a strong sort of hefty man, but Phil, it just reminds me of like a balding Phil Mitchell, not for me. So I think if I was the opposite sex and I got to choose my name, I'd probably go with Louis, and that's probably because it's really similar to Lucy, but it's like the boy version, and I just think Louis is a nice name. I just think it's like a solid name. So next up, it's your favourite vintage names, boy and girl. So my favourite vintage boy's name is Felix, and I actually think I'm going to add this to my baby name list for the future because I just think it's such a cute name. It reminds me of a cat. I'm not 100% sure why. Was there like a kids program with a cat in called Felix or something? Maybe I had a friend with a cat called Felix. I really can't remember, but yeah, it just reminds me of a cat. Maybe it's because it's kind of like the word feline, Felix. I just think it's a really nice name. You can't really shorten it, and yeah, just think it's quite cool. So I'm pretty sure this is a vintage name. I'm sorry if it isn't, but I'm gonna go with it anyway, and it's Madeleine or Madeline. I really love that name, and I also think the shortened version, Maddie, is really cute as well. So next up is your favourite nature name, boy and girl. So my absolute favourite nature name is Wren, and my friend Katie, who also has a YouTube channel called Mummy Daddy Me, I'll pop a link to it below, her little boy is called Wren, and I've told her so many times how much I love this name, and I think it's nature inspired because it's obviously the name of a bird, and I just think it is beautiful. And I always remember when Wren was a baby, they didn't refer to him as Wren on social media, and they'd call him Little Bird, and I just think that is so cute. And my favourite nature inspired girl's name is Blossom. It reminds me of the TV programme from when I was younger. And I also just really love blossom. I think blossom outside in spring is just the nicest thing to see. It's like the sign of like a new year and better weather coming. And I just think it's such a cute name for a little girl. So the next question is your favorite YouTuber's name or their baby's name. So I'm gonna go with both of these. I'm gonna answer both. My favorite YouTuber's baby's name, did that make sense, is Rebecca Meldrum's little girl Florence. I absolutely love the name Florence. I think it is so cute. I just think that Florence is just such a cute, very girly, pretty name. Actually, Rebecca's children all have really nice names, so I'll link her channel as well below if you don't already follow her. I'm sure you do, but all three of her girls have really pretty names. So my favorite YouTuber's name is Ebony from Our Tiny Tribe, and I'd never really thought about the name Ebony before until I met her, and I was like, hi Ebony, and I just thought, oh my god, Ebony is such a beautiful name and you're so beautiful, and it just really suits her. I just find it like a really, it just sort of rolls off the tongue kind of name. I don't want to keep saying that these names are beautiful and pretty, but it really is a really pretty, beautiful name. So the next question is, what is your favourite literary name? I can never say that right. Did I say that right? Literary name. I don't know. You know what I mean, book name. And I've gone with Beatrix, as in Beatrix Potter. So obviously Beatrix Potter is the author of Peter Rabbit, and I just really love the name Beatrix. I think it's really different. It's not the same as Beatrice, but it's got the X in there. I just think it's really different and also really pretty. So next up we have, what is your favourite O name that isn't Oliver or Olivia? And straight away the name Otto sprung to mind, and then I realised that SJ actually picked that as her O name on this question, but I do really love the name Otto. It was actually my granddad's middle name, and I think it was my great-granddad's first name. It's Scandinavian or German, not really sure which, but it's a really lovely name, and I think it's going to make a comeback. I've just got a feeling that Otto is going to be there on the, quite high up on the baby names list next year. I think it's really pretty. I actually might try and squeeze it into my future children's middle name if I can, although I think Scott hates it, so I don't know how well that one's going to go down. So next up, what did you wish you were called when you were younger? So as I said earlier, my favourite film is The Sound of Music, and it always has been, and when I was younger I really wanted to be called Maria, who is the main character, but I just loved her. I just was completely obsessed with her, and I remember when I was younger, I think I actually used to write my name down as Maria Herridge, which sounds completely ridiculous, but yeah, I just wanted people to refer to me as Fräulein Maria. And the very last question on the new baby name tag is, what names would you veto? And I actually had to Google what veto meant. I didn't have a clue, so I don't know if that's me being really uneducated or being really uncool, but anyway, I think it means what name would you immediately cross off your list or banish completely from your baby names list. And this was really hard actually, because I didn't want to say any names that would offend anybody, but obviously there are names that people don't like, and I think there's names that I associate with objects, which is really weird, but yeah. Anyway, so the names that I would veto, I picked one boy's name and one girl's name. The boy's name is Dan, so I'm guessing that refers to like Danny, Dan and Daniel, and it's because I think it's like an Alan Partridge episode where someone's just shouting, Dan! Dan! Every like 5 seconds, and I just can't bear it. Like, it just actually grates on me so much, so I just couldn't possibly have the name Dan in our family at all. And then the girl's name I've picked isn't because I don't think it's a nice name, it just reminds me of eggs, and I don't know why. I just have this weird thing where I associate names with weird objects, and it's the name Megan. It just makes me think of eggs, and I love eggs, but I don't want to think of eggs all the time. So yeah, I wouldn't have Megan as one of my baby names. So those are all my answers to the baby name tag. I'm now going to tag some of my favourite people to do this. I obviously would tag all of you as well, so if you do the tag, then let me know so I can go over and watch it. So I'm going to tag some of my favourite YouTubers. I'll pop links to all their channels below. First off, I tag Kate from Dolly Bobo. I tag Ebony Day, whose name I absolutely love. I tag Sarah, This Mama Life, Jessica AV, Rebecca Lamb, and Laura from Belle's Boutique. So make sure you check out those lovely people's channels below. I'm sure that they will take part in this tag very soon. And I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!